redundancy. You do it over and over and over again. Why? So you can close your eyes and you can see what's happening. I used to tell my sons, look, I know what's happening behind the wall based on what's going on out here. Well, they don't think that's always true. And neither is boss man. Well, he kind of knows now. But no, he thinks he don't know this because it's that another. Well, if we've been playing the right kind of chess game, I have to be able to think what he's thinking and what he sees and why he sees this and how he's going to apply whatever he's going to apply. And the only thing is, so far so good. Dog, sometimes you have to say, boy, you're getting pretty good there. You done predicted the white man 97 times out of 100. And when you didn't predict him, you wasn't wrong. You just didn't know what date it was or where the street it was on. That's all, right? That's how you can get. So everything that we go over 100 times. It's accessible to reason. When we say we don't know how much time we have on this earth as it is now to fix things fast because boss man is not doing nothing. Can you imagine? The little white girl that went all over and ain't nobody did nothing. Ain't nobody doing nothing. And everybody feels it, you know what I mean?
Actually, they brought up an anti-Greta. Now they got somebody to challenge another white girl to challenge what she's saying.
To challenge. It's just, it's insane.
These people are ridiculous.
No, but they have to do that. They can't, remember, you cannot go to the shaitan and say, man, you got to straighten up. Because Allah He said, I created men and jinn to serve me. The shaitan is there to help you become stronger and smarter. When you finish, you're going to be either very good or you're going to quit. He going to polish you up. When you get in a tussle with the shaitan, he going to be over here, right, left, front, behind. He ain't going to miss no spot, right? And if you lay up there sleeping, shaitan is whispering because he's going to whisper, then back up. When you get up in the morning and do something, you say, man, yeah, I'm going to do this, that, and other. Shaitan and whispered, right, into your sleep, and then slipped on back, and he just laying back, licking ice cream, doing whatever he do, and you go right on off and mess up your life. That's what the shaitan, that's his job. To do what we're talking about doing, we have to be woke all the time. Not physically woke, but psychologically awoke all the time. And we have to purge ourselves or allow the Euro to, because he's going to help purge you. He's going to purge, oh, you ain't going to have no bad in you. You got maybe a little bit, I mean. But boss man he's going to hook you up. Anyway, let's go ahead. So I've always asked, this time I'm asking for my usual number of 10% cooperation. And actually, I'm not waiting, I'm just going on getting started, but I expect 10% of cooperation. If somebody want to give 15 or 20 or something. But I expect 10% cooperation. I expect it. This go round. That means everybody can, whoever comes and goes, they can keep their job, they can do everything. And you can always tilt the scale 10% and the white man don't even know. He don't look. With a snitches union, they can agree. They can agree. Okay, you ain't on this, you ain't gonna tell the boss man. No, I ain't gonna tell. So it don't, even if he tells, it don't make no difference. It reminds me of in Arusha, in Tanzania? No, I'm telling you. We went into a bar that night. No, when we got up at breakfast, I would see the guy, and I still got up early, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. He was there helping in the dining room, with the menu. I see him there mostly all day. Then at night, he would be in the bar. So me and my homeboy said, my homeboy that was a bartender, he said, you're here most of the day. He said, yeah, I get about 4 hours at home with my family, and I sleep most of that, and I come home back here. The guy's there 20 hours, 18 to 20 hours per day, every day. And he only probably got 2, 3 shillings per day maximum. So my partner was a bartender. He said, I tell you what, he said, pour us a drink. He poured a drink, and we paid it. He said, you take that, and you put it in your pocket. He said, no, because it's, boss man, and my friend said, how does boss man know what you doing here? He said, because I tell him. I said, that's right, you tell him. He tells boss man come in and he's a dutiful worker. Boss man is old, this, that, and other. He said, don't do that. Say, those 2 drinks, say we paid $2 each. That would be 14 shillings a piece over there. I said, those 2 drinks is twice as much money you make per day, isn't it? He said, yes. I said, okay. So no. He said, the whiskey out of that bottle, I said, you take a shot of water, pour it in there. Take another shot, pour it in another drink. Kalas. He said, now, how does anybody know what you did? He won't know unless I tell him. You're on the money. Now, you keep that up. The next night, we came in the bar, and the whiskey was above the label. You know where the label is? Yeah. Now, the whiskey was right on that label. Now it's way above it. My partner was a bartender. He saw that. He told him, don't get greedy. Don't get greedy. You take you 2, no more than 4 shots per night. You judge by the people that's coming and going. You know what I mean? If you have a slow night, said, and the color of that whiskey is lighter, boss man ain't gonna know this time. But that label, the label is here and the whiskey is up there. And the color is lighter. Don't do that anymore. Just get you, so he taught him how to just get 4 times your money if it's a big crowd, and 2 times your money, plus what boss man paid. He was so happy. He said, because boss man, I tell boss man, the same thing with the tattletales. Why boss man knows stuff? Well, we tell him. We tell him. Right. Suppose the brothers get together and they say, this Negro be talking out the side of his mouth. We're going to give him 10%. That's all he asked for. We're going to give him 10% help. See how bad he is. You know, like your children mess up and say, okay, you so bad, do it yourself. You that bad? Well, that's what we say. We're actually requesting. It ain't too, and boss man don't know crap. If don't nobody tell them people downtown where to go and what to do, every movie you saw, every courtroom you've been in, it's an informant all the time that show up, well, I heard he didn't sell the B and then on and on and on, right? So anyway, I'll get past that, but that, if I were requesting of anybody, I would say, people don't ask nothing from you. These are the signs. Are those reasonable signs? Are they reasonable? Is the world going crazy? Have it gone crazy? Can the world last 10 or 15 years at this speed? Can it? And you might say, yeah, it might last 10 more years, might last 15 or 20. We'll just be wearing masks, right? So this is reasonable. This is reasonable. Boss man is not reasonable. He ain't reasonable about nothing. The old accords he was part of, the white folks accords, they were talking about today in the news. They said, was that any good? He said, it will slow things down, but the Paris Accords ain't nothing. Compared to what we need to stop, finish. That's our job. And on the way, if we can get 4 or 5 Negroes, that'll be wonderful. You know, give us something to talk about around the campfire in the future. You know, like people tell wild tales at the campfires, Bigfoot, and you know, all of that. You know, Negroes used to stay up all night snorting cocaine. You know what they'd be doing? Bragging and talking. I remember them Negroes. I was there with them, but I was studying the Negroes. And you know what I realized? If them Negroes would have come from a different environment and had a different background, I used the word of those days, captains of industry. All them Negroes would have been captains of industry. The intellect, the intelligence, they just didn't, it was never directed in the right way. And after a few years of jahiliyyah, it comes on you and it takes you out. And that's why we say we hit the jackpot, because it did take most of them out. The survival rate is low, like 20% of them did reasonable. But they're like retired old folks, mostly. A couple of preachers here and there with a mid-sized church, a couple of people that, one of my partners, I wanted him to testify. He said, I ain't going to testify. Because he knew what was going on. You know, he knew, hey man, I don't know. I said, forget it, man. That's all right. If you don't feel comfortable. Man, well, I got my little income and my little, I said, anyway, I didn't agree. He'll probably testify this time. Psychological guerrilla warfare was a great blessing. We'll speed up. Again, forgiveness, liberation, freedom. And we won't be held back by hatred and suspicion, you know. And remember, we already wrote, well, it has been technically written, but it's been spoken about. It will be written about, that we've written the parts in it that we want people to play. Now, they have to want that part, and they have to play that part. They have to revise it to fit their own person. You know, that's up to them. But we've written a good part for everybody. Because there's room for everybody. That's our book of the future. That's our book of life. It's pre-written, but it's present day acting. And remember, this is nothing new. The Quran talks about write your own, you know, that's what you get your own book. You get it in your left hand, which is not that safe, and you can get it in your right hand. But you're going to get your book anyway. Now, how come we can't, our behavior, our attitude, our faith, all that's what's going to show up in our book. Can you imagine that we have opportunity to write our own book? Amen. That's wonderful. Detailed lectures on how to come. We're going to do detailed lectures. Detailed lectures are like how to, they got books, how to do this, magic for dummies. You know what I mean? That's what, technically, our book will be kind of like that. Movement for dummies.
Islamic movement for dummies.
No, movements for dummies, all of that. Yeah, that's what it is. But it have, you know how those books are?
Yeah.
They're very concise. And all the fat is trimmed off of them.
I've read a few.
I actually like those books. I get management for dummies. That's how I know. I read every book in management and strategic. I read all of those books. And I read the book, the one on management. And I thought, this is good, for management. On fundraising, I read, just a little fat on fundraising, but if you stick to the stuff, it's pretty good, all of it. So this is movement for dummies. We talked about Sunday, guys, lessons learned. We're trying to develop behavior patterns and the attitude that's needed to produce a behavior that's designed to enhance your possibilities for success. That's the best way we can put it. For a person to become successful, that's what we want to help people do. So we have a lot of old lectures on goal setting, on this, on that, old liyaka, jazmiya, physical fitness. We have tons of those. We have stacks of CDs, DVDs that we made years ago. And we have some of them, some stacks is Quran and Hadith, some on Guides to Better Living, some is on the Hereafter, some. We got all of those right in the office and scattered around different places. So we got new ones that we're going to put out. Brand new ones that fit the time that we're in right now. Anybody ever heard the story about lower your bucket? Lower your bucket, okay. There's ships out on the ocean, and one of the ships ran out of fresh water. So another ship was coming from the shore, and they used to have them hailing things, and they could holler, "We need fresh water," talking to the other boat. The guy said, "Lower your bucket." He said again, "We need fresh water." He said, "Lower your bucket." He did it 3 times, and then the guy realized they were at the headwaters of the Amazon. The Amazon is fresh water. You couldn't see the shore, but all that water, it's the biggest river in the world. I mean, for miles and miles, it was fresh water. From that. So the guy said, "We need fresh water." He told him, "Lower your bucket." You got it. The same thing with the Negroes. We need good staff. Lower your bucket. There's the staff right out there running around. Lower your bucket. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Lowering our bucket. We're not going to go around and look for all the great people, the great picky people. Who wants them anyway? They asked me, I don't know how many times, over Darlene for we want. Do you want us to send you a shake over here? I said, hell no. But they'll teach Arabic. I said, hey, whatever y'all learning over there, I don't want to learn that. I don't want nobody coming over here and teaching that over here. And it's true. Anyway, we'll speed up. We're going to get around, and I'll just mention this, to different places. Dar Hijra, ICM, will get permission. We'll make a few special fundraising introductory type DVDs, and we'll just pass them out instead of going, and then we'll come back later. We'll just go and pass out the DVDs. It's about fundraising. It introduces us the way we want to be introduce ourselves, to where it's short but comprehensive. And then the next step is on them. But we will be requesting, like, to meet at their board of directors, one of their meetings at board of directors, because all of, you know how they treated us out there last time.
Not very nice.
Oh, just, we promise you, you'll get tons of money. Just don't stand out here. I didn't feel bad until I started driving out and seeing that long line. I said, man, it was miles out there, and they were still coming. So I don't think they ain't gonna give us more money than we would have got standing out there. But they gave us a couple of handfuls of meal tickets, so it's okay. It's all right. I mean, what the heck? But anyway, so before we go out to California, before we're going to start our fundraising, like right now, you know, within the next few days, we're going to do, we'll do a DVD. That'll be to distribute around. We'll distribute it around when we got time. We can go to ICM, and we can go to prayers at over here. Yeah, pass out enough of them to see it. Then we'll request that we can come and give a little talk at the board of directors meeting. Whatever it is, we're going to innovate a little bit as far as fundraising. Alternative movement, we'll talk about some of that later. Our job and our mission, yeah. Big dumpster, we talked about that. Brief outline of where we start.